Like it's weird how like because the shot it could be like curving like at an angle. Like I need a paper. I need paper. Oh, paper. Oh, wait. Oh, let me cook real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me cook. So if this is the island, right? Bam, island. You can't see it. That's the island. Okay, the island, and let's just say this is Luffy. Luffy is right here. That's Luffy. Luffy right here. Island right here. It could be like the same spot, right? But at a different angle. This would be Luffy number 2, right? But it could be this like a different distance based off of like the perspective of the scene or the shot. So Luffy could actually be right here, but because of the shot in the angle, he's over here. Or he's actually over here, which makes pixel scaling flawed because based off the angle, let me angle it. It could You get what I mean though. It's a bad drawing. Hold it. It's a bad drawing. It's a very bad drawing. But you get what I mean. Like different angle it can change the distance. Wait.
Just so you know, you missed the size of the 10-tail.
What? This is Origashima's Luffy. Okay? So like I was saying, based off the angle, it could change like what it actually looks like. Because if you like this, wait. It looks closer. Right? You see the distance between these two? It looks smaller distance. Wait, at smaller distance. But when we go like this, perspective-wise, it looks farther. So technically speaking, it could be like way far out, or it could even be closer based off the shot. You get what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like when it comes to pixel scaling, because yes, that distance, what he sees is correct based off of like his angle. However, if his angle was like, oh my god, was like this, it looks smaller or closer. Farther out, I can't do vice versa because it doesn't really make sense. But you get what I mean, right? It's like the wormhole theory. I don't know what I'm talking about no more. But that's what I was cooking. I was really
over 3 times the average length of the blast diameter of the cone-shaped tail beast bomb fired by the 10 tails in its second form, and
Wow.
over the distance, the smell diameter of the Dondorian bomb in Tori.
Bomb, sir. Dodorian, like the fruit.
Yeah, of course.
Hey yo.
baby, of course.
Dude, I have such a dirty mind. Oh my god. That was immature of me. I'm sorry. A grown man acting like that's crazy. I apologize.
I'll bring up Toriko every chance I can. It is what it is. In One Piece terms, it is over 5 times the length of Zunisha's body. 5 ancient elephants.
What does the distance got to do with it
Find
though?
out.
Yeah, I get it's
Wanna
big. Yeah, I get it's massive, right? But at the same time, never mind. I'll never mind. I lied.
Minimum. So this blast breath is kind of wide. Knowing a regular blast breath can
For all One Piece
vaporize,
openings?
melt a mountain.
Hawkeye, I literally can't because I'll get copyright strike. I can't do it live. If I do it, I'd have
Can
to.
you
Like,
read to all One Piece openings polls LOL?
I'd have to do it like on the actual recording, to edit it down and like put like overlay audio and keep like 1 second per like thing. But I mean, I can if you guys want that. Or I could do it on Twitch. I can't do it on YouTube. YouTube take me down.
This Jack Black version can span huge parameters. It's very, 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 very impressive.
I ate the Riz
Easily,
fruit.
easily
Wow.
on the large country level
see,
of
Jaded, I
attack
see.
power.
I see.
Minimum. Remember, we're not
Shaggy
just talking
souls.
about how destructive an attack is, but in principle, how powerful the attacks are. Gecko Moria can crack an island ship with a punch, but a Dynastone in Film Z can completely vaporize an island. It's far more powerful than Gecko Moria, and Kaido is 100% on the latter end rather than the former. But this is ultimately what? Percent on the latter end rather than the former. But
Dang, I missed it. But bro, that was a crazy edit. Why would you put that in there?
this is ultimately what?
Almost got it.
Just
Gotta
in
work my
blast
reaction
breath.
time.
We know there are much more powerful attacks in Kaido's bag, and that's just based on Luffy's own reaction to that attack. The Nika just gets mad,
What?
and a Nika keeps it pushing. He is the Chris Pratt of this movie. Attacks like the Ragnarok.
Wait, he said the Nika? Wait, is when Luffy goes into Gear 5, is Nika, does it take over Luffy's body and he starts fighting for him? Like, as in, raged out Naruto when the Four Tails took over his body and started fighting for him? Or is Luffy in control of what he does with that form? No? Okay. Oh, it's all Luffy. Okay. The way he said it, it had me confused. I got you.
He is the Chris Pratt of
He was
this
making a
movie.
joke. Oh.
Attacks
Oh.
like the Ragnarok in 1045 and the Death Destroyer Thunder Bagua in 1047.
Bagda
That one in
Wagwa.
particular, you can argue easily, is way more powerful than the Jack Black Blast Breath. The Death Destroyer Thunder Bagua broke through Luffy's guard, yo. It broke through his guard, his hockey hardened guard.
Wow.
So these kind of attacks, I think, are on the ballpark, potency-wise, without a doubt. Large country to multi-large country, low ball. But it ain't even Kaido's best. What can easily be determined as large continent levels of potency and beyond. And we know what that is. We all know what that is. The Flame Dragon.
So Kaido is easily planetary, is what I'm getting from all this. Without a doubt, easily planetary. Like, Loki can be a planet buster. Actually, he probably is one. Because that is insane.
Rising Dragon Flame Bagua.
I see low balls,
1048
honestly.
competed with the Bajrang gun. And according to info in the Road to Laugh
That's what he said.
53.4, reverberations, the rumble could be felt from 1,000
The rumbling.
miles away. The power is tremendous.
Oh,
It
Bagua.
seems he was even beating Luffy's monkey god gun up until Luffy does a full body human torch in some unique way, which we still don't know the full details of just yet. The form is
The
so
plot
massive,
punch.
it would easily surpass the whole island's length a few times over if he was unraveled. Therefore, spanning, you could argue easily, the full height of Zunisha itself, the 35 kilometers or the 27.7 miles. Hopefully, this has provided a better sense of the power we're talking about here. And more of this reasoning will be explained in the Luffy section of the video. We have our linchpin of power established in Kaido, so we can kind of speed things up, hopefully.
I lie.
And how about other top class
Bro.
moves on Onigashima? And next up is Kaido's partner in crime, Big Mom.
Big Mama. I know, because I've said this before, but I know that Big Mama's strong, but she genuinely does not look strong at all. Like, she comes off like she's not strong. Like, that's just like how her appearance is. She doesn't look like that strong. But apparently she's OP. So, like, I just go by it since she's OP.
Big Mom has an assortment of moves that are very impressive. From the God of Lightning Tenjin, a lightning storm that spans the rooftop, thereby several miles of ground in an instant in Chapter 1002, to her Fulgor, did they say that? Fulgor, whatever it's called. The Fulgor Lightning Beam in Chapter 1011, covering as much distance as at least half of Onigashima itself, 14 kilometers or 8 miles.
8 miles.
8.6 miles. Ooh, 8 mile though, right? Hey, be right.
Ooh,
It's
why you did that?
almost as
Young Big Mama's a baddie. You might need to reconsider your life choices. I can't speak today. Oh.
It's almost 500 meters tall and 1,600 feet, almost as tall as Taipei 101 in Taiwan. So these kinds of peaks are everywhere across the rooftop. So when Big Mom is doing the Galang Tenjin, she's like blasting a whole city full of Taipei 101s. That's crazy.
That is
and keep in mind that in
insane.
1038, even though she lost Zeus, Hera can do the same move. So when she's outside open air, she is truly a natural disaster. So Big Mom's attacks, like the Maester Cannon or the Maester Saber in 1039, likely have way more potency than her God Lighting Tenjin, which is a wider spread AoE attack rather than, say, a focused fire attack. Talking about
Gotcha.
in the ballpark of mountain range to island levels of attack power and potency, and definitely higher for 3,000 Leagues of Mother Misery, which is her strongest solo attack so far. So far. She's coming back. Don't test me.
Don't test that gangster,
It's a
man.
living lightning monster that was eviscerating people with a single swipe. So I'm kind of cool with putting Big Mom's
Is it like
attacks
grunts though?
on an equivalent scale to some of Kaido's better moves, 100%. So things are in the ballpark
'Cause
of
there were
the
grunts.
multi-large island,
Right. I'd
country
retract
plus
that.
level stuff. But it's the combo move with Kaido and Big Mom that commands the most respect. The conquest of the sea in 1009 makes a shockwave that is easily encompassing all of Onigashima when Zoro stops it. The move seems to be a combination of Big Mom's Elbas
I want to see
spear and
this. I want to see this.
Kaido something, I have no idea. But the point is that just by blocking the attack for a few seconds, all of Zoro's bones were shattered. And in fact, none of these supernova could handle that.
Oh, so
move.
Zoro
Not
died.
even Luffy, who muscled.
I didn't know Zoro was gonna die. Huh. Oh. Well. First Straw Hat dead. That's tough. That's
through
pretty tough.
a blast breath in 1002. He didn't want the smoke of the Hakai. He didn't want the smoke of, quote, something big is coming. Nah.
Oh,
So
look at
at
this
a
up.
bare minimum, our
He didn't
target's attack
die?
is greater than
What? How did Zoro not die? If all of his bones were broken, that should kill you. Bro, what kind of plot? Now that is plot armor. You cannot argue against that. That is literally plot armor. What? Bro, durability? No, his bones were broken. What's durable about that?
all of Kaido's solo blast breath, including the King Koopa one we saw.
That is
in
straight plot.
1045, which is already estimated to have large country levels of potency on the low end, I'd argue. This is a category you could argue above that. So large country plus multi-country minimum, for sure.
Minimum.
For Big Mom and Kaido's combo move. Though,
What's his name? Wait, what's his first name? Trogluck
Mom and Kaido's combo move.
Okay, let's pronounce this. Trafalgar, or it's Trafalgar. For the entire rest of the stream, I will not mess up once. All right, and that's facts. Okay, fine. I'll take off my do-rag if I mess up once. All right. Oh, 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 oh. See, it's not that bad. Gotta, you know.
Several times by Big Mom and Kaido during the arc. Among his arsenal
like a
attacks, his
catfish.
most destructive one is the Puncture Willy in 1039, a devastating move that once again bypasses conventional durability and emits a powerful shockwave that pulverizes the solid target from the inside out. It is
So this is
scary
the
stuff.
Duraneg
And the key
move.
thing here to gauging how destructive Law can be is the length of his sword. Since the
He has a BBS, a big blue sword. That is huge. Cause Big Mom is massive. Oh, she should be dead too. Wait, what? It went through her head. Is Big Mom still alive? We gotta pixel calc that for. Yo, that is crazy. Guys, does Malik look like Frozone? He wasn't denied about it. Why would you bring that up? You know, Akoji, I forgot. She might be dead. It's not cutting it. Oh, okay.
longer it is, the more it affects, and you can't avoid it because you're getting punctured. But okay, but this is where things
Unknown?
get tricky, and ultimately, I have
The
to
cut so doesn't do
abandon
any
the
damage.
cause.
Okay.
What happened? The only way for us to figure
Cooking
out
in
how
lava?
long Law's sword can extend is for us to rely on cross-section layouts, which normally are not drawn to scale. For example, in chapter 897, there was a layout of Cacao Island, and in that layout, you can see ships and buildings that are just as tall as mountains. If you take that at face value, you get either really titanic ships or stupidly small mountains. But we can clearly tell from the
Yeah.
entire arc and chapter, it is not the case. That was not accurate. However, even though I say that, I kind of fibbed.
So I fibbed.
Because
So I
when I
could-
did roll
Bro,
through
MC
several
something
of
came
the Onigashima calculations, two of the eight that I did roll through did use layouts of Onigashima. And they just so happen to be the smallest results of the island size. If I remove them from the average calculations, then the average length of Onigashima would have actually
Okay, boys,
been
we gotta
longer.
power through this.
But
I gotta end
I
live
kept
soon.
them because I knew we were
Let's
going
get to
run
the
law,
no more getting
and later
sidetracked,
on,
right?
Luffy
No more.
kind of ish, but we'll get that later. And that's because that's all Oda gives us. He gives us a cross-section layout. So I'm trying to be as accurate as I can, but here's how things roll. We know how wide Onigashima is from the Kaido section of the video. And we get a layout of the hole that Law makes in 1040.
The
Law
Luffy
is
section?
also not directly positioned above the ground, but
Let me
where
see
the
the-
X is in that layout. And that is low-key important because that's
Question.
also a part of
Do you guys care about this section right here? Actually, it's about to end. All
the
right, so
distance of Law's ability.
we can get this on.
Therefore, in a way, Law's power. So from where he is in the air to the ground, it's
5 hours? I can't. I literally can't. I have personal stuff going on in a bit.
That's just over
Yes, we
two
do care.
times the length of the island itself,
Um,
Onigashima, which does make some
probably not,
sense,
no.
just simply based on how high Kaido is levitating the entire island. That's
But
57.
however, I can go live for tomorrow and the day after. So I will probably go live tomorrow and the day after as well. But it might likely be on Twitch or like YouTube the first part and then Twitch the second part because I can do more stuff on Twitch like getting copyright strike.
Heaven Arena Towers, 11 Big
So for
Daddy
that
Sea
tomorrow?
Kings,
Okay.
and damn near 3 Divine Shinju Tree Trunks.
It's Naruto Bite.
Competing with Big Smoke's order, for real. But you can already see how it's looking kind of sus right there, which is why I was not down for the cause, but we continue nonetheless. For the hole's diameter, there are several looks at it, and I did take the smallest method I could get for Big Mom, who spoke into the hole at 1040, and the largest diameter by far by sticking with the layout. And as you can see before you, it's a massive disparity in size. Now, obviously, the best idea is kind of just scale off of Big Mom when she's falling into the hole.
Duh.
But Big Mom gigantifies herself in 1031, hence me putting a star next to the pixel scale for her because it ain't her original size. What her actual size is when she gigantifies,
I have no idea.
no idea. But if we stick to averaging for consistency's sake, which you might want to argue could be a way of accounting for any artist mistakes, because let's say Oda had intended to make Big Mom smaller.
Maybe.
Who knows? You get 4.2 kilometers for the hole's diameter with Big Mom's original size, leading up to a 191 kilometer or 118 mile hole to the magma chamber based off of the 1050 layout. Add the position of Law, who's above
Because
the
it is
ground in
polymer.
the air on Gashima, and it's almost a 250 kilometer or 155 miles for the length Law Sword travels. That is a quarter of the whole United Kingdom's length.
Jeez.
So while it's true that Wano country is naturally at an elevated position from the normal ocean floor, and Zunisha, who extends well beyond Skypiea, was looking up in chapter 1046 as it listens to the drums of liberation, and Lost Shore.
What exactly is the drums of liberation? Because I see it a lot, and also I've seen like the first, I think, I don't know what OST is called, but it said the drums of liberation remix. What exactly is that? Yeah, I will. The grin. Yeah, I will. Heartbeat, Luffy's awakening. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Travel below the
What's the one?
elevated and normal
I don't know
sea
the number,
levels
but
to reach
it's
the magma chamber.
they're on this flying ship with no.
I'm still not all that confident at all in these numbers because of, once again, an over-reliance on layout, so I'm not buying it. Even though for Onigashima's length, it should be longer if I don't use those two calculations that are layout-based, it's still among a sea of 8 calculations, so the impact for the average Onigashima width is arguably not that much at all. And again, like I've been saying before, for like the entire video, consistency and accuracy is most important to me. Bars. So if you want a massive highball for how long Lost Sword has traveled, boom. I just
Oh. 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 Well. No comment?
gave it to you. And honestly, when you use just the eye test, let's say in 1039 and 1040, it's very apparent that the sword does travel more than the distance, the height of Onigashima itself.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very,
insane.
very apparent. So let's say if you want to say it's a few times longer, or I guess taller than Onigashima, if we adhere to the metrics that we have for Onigashima, 2 times being around 40 kilometers or 24.8 miles, or let's say 3 times being 60 kilometers or 37.2 miles, that is fair game, relatively speaking. Now, you might think Luffy has that same issue. The answer is yes, but also no. And you'll see why in a bit. But first, we're gonna tackle the wings, Zoro and Sanji of the Pirate King.
The wings? Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Now it's time for my boys, Sanji and Zoro, the wings,
the
arms of the King of Pirates. They have the most impressive showcase of power in this arc after getting buffs to take down Queen the Plague and King the Wildfire. While they don't have the same scale of attacks as, let's say, Kaido or Law or even Luffy, what they do have so far is pretty gnarly in of itself. So first up, the strongest wing. Sanji's best attack in the series so far is the Boav Buster in chapter 1034. Yes, I am butchering this name.
Correct.
But deal with it. And he used it at the end of the chain
it's just like me for real. No cap.
In the next chapter, we see Queen punted off world, the same place Nick Fury is. And
how much longer I'll stream? Into this video and until my sister gets home.
In the process, there's a huge explosion that Sanji makes under the horn. That explosion is just as long and as wide as the left brain tower horn. The average calculated width of the horn.
Okay. Huh. And Luffy's fist right here. Oh, yikes.
Is 2.7 kilometers or 1.7
oh,
miles.
yikes.
Just over 2
That's
times
a
the average
massive
calculated height of Madara's first meteorite in Naruto Part 2, and just over half of the height of the Big Daddy Sea Kings. The average length of the horn is 7.3 kilometers or 4.5 miles. That is 4 times the height of the World Tree sapling in Hunter x Hunter, and just over the same distance from the Blue Sea to the White Sea under Skypiea. So going back to the Big Mom section of the video, these horn metrics can now apply to Big Mom's Fulagora, another technique name that I can't pronounce. The
Don't worry,
Buzz,
I understand.
Whatever you call it. But these metrics are now relative to her lightning beams.
Yeah, I got you, Archer.
Therefore, giving us a better sense of a scale for her attack. And for Sanji, of course, this is just how destructive the attack.
If it was, if that was Luffy's fist, everybody would be dead on spot. No cap.
That can potentially be. The attack's actual power is much greater than what's being displayed destructively because he is sending, say it with me now, Queen the Plague off-world to visit cars somewhere in space. It's pretty damn apparent that Queen is sent packing a much greater distance than the island's length itself, which is already longer than Zunisha. And Queen has been a virtual tank for the entire arc up until that point in time. He recovered hella quickly against Olin in Udon, took shockwave-based Phoenix brand kicks from Mark of the Phoenix in 1006 and kept it pushing. His durability and endurance is literally third best in the entire Beast Pirate crew.
No,
and
that's
just by
insane.
default, better than guys like Katakuri and Doflamingo, who we've seen take
Katakuri has some
tremendous
crazy
levels of punishment,
Yeah.
but that pales in comparison to Dino Tech toughness. Since Sanji's destructive area is clearly multi-mountain.
Oh,
especially
thank you
when
for the
he
follow.
kicked
Thank you.
Queen while he was in hybrid form, his toughest form.
That's why
at
I had it
least
up. I just
one
realized.
floor higher from inside Onigashima in 1035, then increasing the level of attack power to at least large island to multi-island levels, I think is fair game. This principle of having more attack potency with direct contact compared to non-direct contact is the exact same thing we have with Luffy and Doflamingo. Luffy's King Kong gun devastated the city and the bedrock got folded in, but that was via Dofi being slammed into the ground. If Luffy direct contacts the ground, then the devastation to the island is substantially more. It's
Yeah,
the
that would make
same
sense because he's
principle.
literally punching into the ground, so it's slamming him into the ground himself. Why just repeat what he just said? But that makes sense.
Here.
That makes
And the
sense.
reason why we're tackling Sanji first is because Zoro must be relative
Oh, I find this so funny. Like, ew, bro, what kind of outfit is that?
to Sanji,
What the fuck?
particularly when Zoro tends to finish off his opponents. in fewer-
Racism, sexism. All right, guys, I have a question for y'all. Which side are you guys on? I need to know. Are you guys leaning towards racism or sexism? Okay. W answer with neither. Yo, y'all are crazy. Bro,
attacks because of his higher attack power. People like Sanji and Luffy have a lot of combo moves, whereas Zoro is not necessarily like that. I could only find one actual calculation
is fine.
of Zoro cutting the top of the horn off, which is unfortunate because I did want to use various calculations, and the person did surmise that Zoro would have at most island levels of attack potency because of that
What?
feat. But the
But I'm saying
boa
this should be
had
higher.
the buff, but the buff burst is better than that 100%. Not only does it destroy
Yes.
more in terms of the
what's this guy?
explosion itself, but
Oh my God, stop
sent
saying that.
Literally, God knows how many hundreds of kilometers away, which is why I scaled Sanji the way I did. Though I can't speak in that same way for the Ashura's Dead Man game on Kaido, or of course.
Wait, what is that? Is that one of Zoro's like moves? The Ashura, because the Ashura, it rings a bell from his Ashura mode that I saw.